front row, but I think Buchanan and Lee Warner are going to be the vital piece at line-out time. And then in the backs, Jack Grant, Archie King, obviously they're crucial to the success of Eastern Suburbs this afternoon. And then Merrittfield, Yeomans Pincus and young Will Maddox at the back.
The coach is Craig Morrison, and he spoke to Shep about getting a roll on.
Yeah, it's been good, Cam. We've started to turn those close losses into some close wins, particularly last week against West Harbour, and some better performances in the weeks prior to that against Warringah, and obviously games against Penrith and Gordon where we got the result that we wanted as well. So yeah, it was certainly building. Yeah.
Southern District's a very expansive side. They love to throw the ball around. How have you prepared for that during the week?
Yeah, I guess it's been a bit wet through the week, but certainly, you know, they're a team that have a big forward pack and some big centres and that type of thing, but then they like to, you know, throw the ball around, offload and play at the back of that as well. So yeah, we've been conscious of that through the week and talked about it, and talked about how we need to defend that.
Plenty on the line this afternoon, so all the best.
Great, thanks Cameron, cheers.
There he is, Craig Morrison. Now to Southern Districts.
Yeah, massive pack for Southern Districts Rebels this afternoon, and they're led by their hooker, Brandon Pyanga-Amosa. Not only a try scorer, but just an inspirational leader that the other 7 have to follow around the park. DeWitt Roos comes back in at 9 from a short stint down at the Brumbies. He is so important to this side, keeping that energetic, up-tempo game that they love to play. Rowan Seifaloy with the 10 on his back, and then Smart, Latuni Pulu, the captain Asquith at 13, and Connolly and Varan.
Coach is Matt Barr, and he spoke to Cameron Shepherd about consistency.
Yeah, definitely, Cam. I suppose we spoke about that a fair bit. We used the first half of the season, I suppose, a learning experience. Tried to, I suppose, put it to the side and start fresh, and we did that last week against Parramatta. Really pleasing performance. We look to build on that today against a tough East outfit.
DeWitt Roos is back in the 9 today. How important is he to the club and winning football games?
Oh, DeWitt's massive. He brings a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm and a lot of experience, and I'm sure he's picked up a bit at the Brumbies there, so he'll be big for us today moving forward.
Big challenge for you this afternoon, but we wish you all the best.
Thanks very much, Cam.
There is Matt Barr to the ladder, and Manly, Cam, still have a buffer at the top.
Yeah, they do. They're out by a long way despite their loss to Warringah last week. And then look how closely knit together Eastwood, Randwick, Warringah and Northern Suburbs are, closely followed by Southern Districts and Sydney University. Then you see Eastern Suburbs. They're not out of it yet. They win today and they close that gap to the rest of the pack and the top 6. Gordon, West Harbour, Parramatta and Penrith make up the rest of the table.
Not far away from the kick-off. Let's go into the dressing sheds now and see the nerves starting to build in the Rebels dressing shed. And, of course, this is an important game. It's a mid-table clash. And, of course, the Eastern Suburbs have been all over the place in terms of their dressing sheds with no home ground. The anticipation is building here at Mackay Oval. We'll be back after the break with all the action live on 7-2.
Lions coming. We should get the boys together.
We got 10 games, 3 tests.
Warren's coming home, boys. Let's give him another warm welcome.
It's 120 years, I think it dates back. Be a part of that is certainly something special.
Do they rule like real lions?
They roll with Macho Haka.
Yeah!
Rugby's greatest series.
Rugby's greatest series.
Rugby's greatest series.
The DHL Lions Series 2017 Crusaders Lions, live tonight, Sky Sport 1. Broadcast coverage proudly brought to you by Hyundai New Zealand.
Are you ready for the great game? Make sure you see the new season of Game of Thrones and the best in premium drama. Get your first 2 months of Soho for just $5 a month when you upgrade in June. Call us today or go online to upgrade to Soho now.
Hard-hitting. Jaw-dropping. Mind-blowing. The best sports documentaries presented by UFC hardman Mark Hunt. An in-depth and intimate look at the blood, sweat and tears. Knockout Sports Stories, presented by Mark Hunt, 8:30 Wednesdays on Rialto Channel.
They're Hollywood's most wanted.
I'm one of the lads.
And they're on the run this July. Escape with Sky Movies.
We have reached a point of no return.
I must have that money. You load up a truck and you drive away. Let's rock.
Roger that, Captain.
I know you'll do what must be done.
Hello?
Hey, are you seeing this? We gotta go right now! Keep the noise down. Nah, turn it up.
With these premieres in glorious high definition, and even more movies ready to view right now on demand.
Sounds good, man.
Make your escape this July with Sky Movies. Get ready for an incredible rugby spectacular as the might of the Pacific go back-to-back. Wales see red as they take on Tonga.
The little halfback is over.
Then the haka faces Sivatau once more.
The sea of blue has gone crazy.
Two huge games that will kickstart your international rugby year.
And here is an opportunity.
What a finish.
The American Express Pacifica Challenge, Friday live, Sky Sport 1. Coverage proudly brought to you by Ford.
Welcome back to Centennial Parklands. It covers 360 hectares. It's home to over 120 playing fields, courts, ovals, tracks and arenas, and provides facilities to juniors and senior sporting teams, including the Waratah Swans and Roosters. But today it's intra-super shoot shield action, Eastern Suburbs versus Southern Districts, and your commentators, Tony Lewis and Cameron Shepherd. Good afternoon, gentlemen.
Thanks very much, Duro. A very good afternoon to you, and a very good afternoon to you, club rugby fans, watching throughout New South Wales, live and free on 7-2, and of course our friends across the ditch in New Zealand and throughout the Pacific Islands, watching on the Rugby Channel as the Eastern Suburbs Beasties take the field here at Mackay Oval, Shep, on a very overcast afternoon. Takes me back to my school years when I used to play the old Sydney High Boys down here. But both these teams, only 4 points separating them, Cameron Shepherd, so this game will be intense.
Yeah, it's going to be a very important game for both sides. As we look at our cannon player in focus, number 7, Rowan Perry, it doesn't look like there's much of him, but I can tell you there's not many 7s in the competition that are as technically sound at the breakdown as Rowan Perry. Have a look for him to be involved in everything as this afternoon's match gets underway.
He really is a live wire, number 7, Rowan Perry for the Beasties, as the Southern Districts Rebels join us this afternoon. And this is a very, very strong team on paper. They've been a bit inconsistent, you might say, during this season, perhaps not winning as many games as they expected to win. But make no mistake, they are a very, very dangerous side. We saw them in action against Sydney University a couple of weeks ago in a crazy game, Shep, where 14 tries were scored, and they weren't out of it until the last couple of minutes, the Southern District side.
No, an incredible performance. And as we've learned about them, referee for this afternoon, James Leckie, as we've known about them for such a long time, Tony, they will not give in until the final whistle, and no one comes back when they're behind, better than the Southern Districts Rebels. So you've got to make sure you put in an 80-minute effort against these guys.
So Rebels running south. Rowan Seifaloy, they're 5'8" with the ball in hand, and he'll get us underway here at Mackay Oval this afternoon. Pretty good start. It's been well dragged down by number 4 for Eastern Suburbs. That's big Tim Buchanan. Jack Grant feeds it to Lee Warner at first receiver in the big second row as his first rumble of many for the game. Back it goes to Archie King. He stabs it forward off the right foot. It's been taken by Ben Connolly for the Rebels. Now he winds up and hits the defensive line straight into Rowan Perry and James Field for the Beasties. Comes quickly for DeWitt Roos. Finds Albert Hamopo at first receiver. The quick recycle by Southos. Out it comes by Seifaloy. Asquith kicked it on, passed it on quickly. It's fallen down, though. It's been picked up by Brandon Paenga-Amosa. This very hard-working hooker for Southern Districts. They go left again. Seifaloy to the fullback, Jamie Verron, on the far side of Mackay Oval. Southern Districts going through the phases patiently. Angus Ryan in midfield now. And there's Perez, the number 6. Been around for a few years with them now, Alex Perez. Eastern Suburbs doing a good job holding him up. Looking for the turnover. And I think James Leckie has given it to East. He has, so good work at the breakdown. And Juro, how's things on the sideline?
Well, the sideline's pretty good. If you look off the field, you'll find puddles everywhere. But the field itself here at Mackay Oval is pulled up really well, except as you can see the referee pulling the scrum off the cricket pitch because it's not too flash in the middle. But around the pitch, the field is really good. So great job by the ground staff.
First scrum of the game. It'll be interesting to see this.
And while we've got a moment, just a reminder about our charterhalldirect.com tipping. If you think you know the Intrust Super Shoot Shield, well, you show us. Go to charterhalldirect.com.au/tipping, set up your account and get involved. It's pretty tough though, Tony. It seems to come very easy to you.
No, it's very even competition.
Hot-head blue. You guys through. Don't pre-engage, please. Just leave that little room for engagement. Thank you, mate.
James Leckie having a word with Stephen Longwell, the Scottish tight head prop, the import for Eastern Suburbs. He's been joined in the front row by number 2, Cameron Fenton, another Scottish player who arrived about 3 weeks ago to play for Eastern Suburbs. Yeah, always of the Glasgow Warriors Academy.
Always fantastic to have so many international players come and play in Sydney. You see the pack weights there, big advantage to the Rebels.
Still a bit unstable on the far side. James Leckie, our referee this afternoon.
Come this way a little bit more.
On the sidelines by Drew Tonks and John McCarthy.
It's going to be a really big key to the game, that cricket pitch in the middle, and it's tough. It's very loose underfoot. It's slippery. You know, we know we're not going to see many scrums on there, but you're going to have to run through it at one stage or another. So I really believe that whoever dominates the contact on that cricket pitch will most likely get the ascendancy and the upper hand in this game.
Fine.
Do you avoid running on it, or do you just try and win the battle? That'll be the interesting decision to see which team, what decision each team makes.
So much pressure in that scrum. Eastern Suburbs looking for the penalty. They didn't get it. Grant gets it out to King, to Field. James Field, he slips on that cricket pitch area. And Mitchell doing great work at the breakdown, getting the turnover for Southern Districts. Seifaloy with the kick ahead. Being trapped by the East winger. He gives it to Will Maddox on debut for the Beasties. Maddox punts it downfield. Seifaloy takes it cleanly. Hands off to Veron. Veron kicking for territory. There's Archie King for Easts. Inside the 22. King returns the favour. Ball still in play. Seifaloy now. Another kick coming for him. This time it goes straight up. Midfield. Oh, well taken by Rowan Seifaloy. Well, Eastern Suburbs just stood back and let him take it. Here goes Malmalunga, the prop now. Southern District's looking good early in this game. DeWet Roos throws it straight into the Eastern Suburbs loose head prop, Tom Sheminant, who was lurking back behind the offside line. So silly penalty to give away.
Wow, just smart play from DeWet Roos, wasn't it? Possible chance to get the ball around him, but he's thrown the ball straight into him, knowing that he would milk the penalty. And not surprisingly, because you can see how torn up that area of the field is, the captain, Paul Asquith's going to put this one into the corner and keep the pressure on Eastern Suburbs.
Well, Asquith making no mistake finding touch, hasn't got them a great deal of distance, doesn't matter. Southern District's attacking line out, about 3 metres inside the Eastern Suburbs 22. Beasties under the pump early here at Mackay Oval. Pretty stiff breeze blowing into our faces, so that's out of the southeast. Iyengar Amosa all the way to the back, well taken by Ryan. And it comes to Seifaloy, to Asquith. Finds Smart on the burst. Oh, Luke Smart goes himself. Finally brought down by Ned Yeomans. They're only about 10 metres out now, Southern Districts. Wet Roos waits, finds Hamopo. Goes to the right side this time. Been fumbled by number 12, Latuni Pulu. Tom Merritt trying to bring him to the ground. Now Yeomans is helping him. Latuni Pulu very strong in contact. DeWet Roos gets it away to Iyengar Amosa. Straight into the East defensive line. East defence getting tested here. Back it comes for DeWet Roos. That's Ryan. DeWitt Bruce just stopped his own man. Get your leg out of the way, son. Here goes Southern Districts now. Latuni Pulu finally tackled. They're looking good. Here's Connor Young, the loose head prop. As a turnover for Eastern Suburbs. Great work at the breakdown by Clary Moore, number 6. Terrific turnover. So a number of phases by Southern Districts come from naught.
Yeah, it was great play, wasn't it? Clary Moore straight onto the ball and did brilliantly well to maintain his feet. This is the carry. That's Varan. Latuni Pulu, always a tough man to bring down. It was a beautiful tackle from Joe Pincus. And then this is the phase you've got to look out for. Here's the carrier Young. Good tackle, and then Moore straight onto the ball. Great penalty for Eastern Suburbs.
First line out for the Beasties. Fenton's throw is good, well taken by Buchanan. James Field crashing the ball up. It's a big inside centre is Field. Moore at first receiver now. That's been stripped from Clary Moore. Paenga Ramosa has the ball in hand now. Off goes Paenga Ramosa. I don't know how many tries he scored this season. Back it comes to Seifaloy. Seifaloy with the kick.
You're in front.
Referee James Leckie spies
Pillars
a
are
Southern Districts player in front of the kicker. So come back for the
Nice
Southern
play.
Districts penalty.
Well, this is a point-scoring opportunity. They decided to kick for the touchline before, Tony, but I think we'll see them put this one through the post. And that's what's going to happen. Captain Paul Asquith, he's wearing the 13 on his back, and as we know, the incumbent outside centre for the Rebels over the last few years has been Denny Godinay, who unfortunately unavailable due to injury this week. But Asquith, such a talented player, can really play almost every position in the back line.
Well, this is the third Southo's game we've covered, Shep, and he's the third different position that Asquith has played in as many games. He played 10 in our first game, he played 15 in our second, and today at 13. So Roman Seifaloy with the kick from right in front, but a very tricky breeze to contend with.
Great shot of our High-Tech Oils. Big screen there. Thanks very much to High-Tech Oils for providing that for us every week. Now the fans love to be able to get those replays. Got a good look at it from here at the ground. Very loose underfoot. Seifaloy just needs to make sure he's slow through the ball.
Off the upright. It's been taken by Longwell. Eastern Suburbs need to get this out of here. A fortuitous bounce for the Beasties, perhaps. And the penalty going to Beasties. Southern District's not releasing the ball on the ground, so they breathe again.
Well, that's what makes goal kicking in these conditions so hard, boys, is that you're so worried about if your plant foot's going to slip. And he did the right thing, I thought, by just trying to softly glide his foot through the ball. But unfortunately, smacks straight into the post.
Archie King's touch finder is a good one, so Eastern Suburbs will get the line out just inside their own half.
Great to see some of the lower grades from Eastern Suburbs down to support the first grade side.
Oh, lucky to get away with that one was Fenton. Didn't look very straight to me. Inside ball to Pincus. Clary Moore with the pick and go. It's a busy number 6. Jack Grant's there quickly. The kick from Archie King. Tom Merritt herring after the ball. So's DeWitt Roos, I think. DeWitt Roos forces it. Still in play. Anybody's ball. Oh, it could be a try for Eastern Suburbs. Jamming it now, looking to get over the line. Here goes Lee Warner. Now it's Longwell.
Patience the key for Eastern Suburbs here.
Jack Grant barking orders. Grant goes himself. And it comes now to Lee Warner. This Rebels defence is solid though. Archie King this time. James Field. And the obstruction gets whistled well. Miscommunication amongst the Eastern Suburbs backs on that occasion.
Yeah, that was a shame because that was a big opportunity for Eastern Suburbs. I would have loved to have seen Field continue on that little overline, and instead of Yowman's coming short in front of him, switched. In these conditions, it's so hard to change direction when you're moving at speed. So the switch play where you drop a player underneath you becomes such an important aspect of the game. Here comes the ball wide now. That's the Field with receiving. And apologies, it was actually Cameron Fenton who came short. Changing the angle. Such an important part of the game when it's wet and slippery.
Impressive defence by Southern Districts. So Eastern Suburbs have pinched that ball. Archie King tries to get it back. Finally it comes for Jack Grant. Out to Moore, short ball to Field. Round the corner comes Lee Warner. Albert Hamopo stops his progress. Finally brought down by Connor Young. To Archie King, he offloads to Luke Cullinane, wearing the number 8 jersey today. Stitcher out injured for East. Here's Longwell, the big Scottish tight head around the corner. Lee Warner this time. Comes quickly for Grant. King with the kick down to the left corner again, looking for the touchline, and he finds it only about 12 metres out from the Southern District's try line.
Yeah, and that's the way Eastern Suburbs have got to play this afternoon. You've got to turn around these big Southern Districts forwards and make them continue to run back into their own 22. Special thanks, as always, to Fujitsu, one of our official broadcast partners. Thank you for your amazing support of the Intrust Super Shoot Shield and grassroots rugby in Australia.
Hermosa to the front. Well taken by Perez, I think that was. There's Ryan at first receiver. DeWitt Roots with the kick. Straight into touch, about 25 metres downfield.
It was almost down my throat, fellas, as that ball came in. But what about the momentum change? The first 10 minutes, East under the pump. Left and right they were going, Southern Districts. But then a smart little inside ball started that momentum for East. So I like the way East are trying to use the ball even in these conditions. So it's amazing how things have changed after that missed penalty attempt.
Cameron Fenton, as I mentioned before, a member of the Glasgow Warriors Academy. Now down here in Australia, looking to make a real go of it. Clean ball for the Beasties. Archie King, short ball. Isn't able to hang on to it. No knock on. Yeomans with the ball. Gets battered down by a Southern Districts player. Oh, that could be a try. Oh, he's given it to James Leckie. Oh, let's give that one to James Field. Well, James Field head after that loose ball and just beat Jake Douglas to it, touched it down. First 5-pointer to Eastern Suburbs.
Well, that was an interesting little run of events, wasn't it? There's the ball off the top. Grant does well to King. This is a beautiful little hit ball. And that's where I thought it might have gone forward. James Leckie didn't think so, though. And that's Luke Smart in his 150th grade game, but just lazy play to get back. Apologies, it wasn't Douglas. It was Angus Ryan. Quick thinking from Field. And he scores the first one here at Mackay Oval. 5-0 on the Charter Hall Direct scoreboard.
Welcome back to Centennial Parklands, and the East Beasts on the board, 7 points to 0 over Southern Districts. And this is all about being switched on. East prepared to show their hands in damp conditions. And look at this. This is lazy football. You need to have your heads up. And it was time for James Field. Great start for the Beasts.
Eastern Suburbs bench happy about that. Seifaloy with the restart. Down it comes, well taken by Luke Cullinane. Fergus Lee Warner again at first receiver. Getting a tackle by Willie Malmalanga. He's a big human being, Willie Malmalanga, starting for Southern Districts today with his brother, Celesi, on the bench. Jamie Ferrin with the ball in hand now. He puts up the high hoist midfield. Who's there for Eastern Suburbs? Maddox keeps his eye on the ball, takes it well. Not much of him, the fullback. He's got terrific skills, though. Eastern Suburbs get back and secure possession. Out it comes for Field. Rowan Perry flicks it along to Tom Merritt. Merritt looking for a way through traffic. Did well. The quick recycle to Sheminant. The loose head prop from West Australia. Jimmy Field throws the dummy, goes himself, dragged down by Latuni Pulu. Eastern Suburbs looking good. Here's Sheminant on the burst. Southern District's hands on it. They can't get the turnover. Short ball to Perry, to Fenton. And the hooker is brought down. Out it comes for King. Inside ball for Buchanan. Here goes Tim Buchanan. Looking for a runner, finds Grant. Offloads to King. Oh, and Will Maddox couldn't hang on to it. Quick handoff to Luke Smart. Smart kicks ahead. Pincus back there to cover for the Beasts. Off goes Joe Pincus. Still going Pincus. Down the sideline of Mackay Oval. Here's Pincus. Inside ball to Archie King. He needs a runner inside. It's been knocked down by Southern District's defender. Oh, what about the pickup? But then the knock on by Eastern Suburbs. Oh, it's all happening here. Asquith hands off to Connolly. Here goes Ben Connolly now. Runs straight into Stephen Longwell. DeWent Roos kicks out of the box. Looking for the touchline. Maddox is back there for the Beasts. Goes into touch. No quick throw for Eastern Suburbs. Well, Cameron Shepherd, what a passage of play.
What an amazing passage of play. There could have been tries at either end of the field within the space of 30 seconds, but what about this run from Pincus? This was one of the best parts of the whole play. A lovely run. He beat 3 just to get in that position. Makes light work of Pyanga Amosa, but this is where I think King could have made a better decision. There was an arm in there from Apolosi Latuni Pulu, and maybe lucky to avoid getting a card if that was looked at again.
Very lucky indeed. Seifaloy hands off to Latuni Pulu. Finally dragged down right at the East 22. Eastern Suburbs defence needs to starch up now. Seifaloy finds Asquith. Asquith goes himself, tried to get that away. Couldn't do it though. Still Southern District's ball. Oh, DeWent Roos down the short side. Here's Luke Smart. Went up and got up and went again. Lucky not to get penalised, Smart. Only 5 metres out. Here's Ryan. Oh, very close. Only half a metre in it. Forwards looking for the try. Pyanga Amosa can't hang on to it, and the knock-on mistake from Southern Districts, again within sight of the try line.
Wow, very scrappy. And the fear is, for a lot of teams in these wet, slippery conditions, is that if you start moving the ball too far from the ruck, then you're going to miss an opportunity to score. But I just find that sort of play, and both teams been guilty of it in the opening 18 minutes, is not what you need to do. It's been the expansive play that's getting them down those areas of the field. You've got to back your skills and hope you can hold them under pressure.
When you're putting up field.
He's on top 7-0 at Mackay Oval on the Charter Hall Direct scoreboard.
Also, he's so tight.
Well, folks, Eastern Suburbs Rugby would like to congratulate Society Generale. Eastern Suburbs Rugby, folks, just while we've got a moment of downtime, would like to congratulate Society Generale for once again being the official bank of the Rugby World Cup. Society Generale, a great sponsor of World and Club Rugby.
Craig Morrison watching on. I think he'd be pretty happy at this stage considering the conditions to be up 7-0. They haven't had a huge amount of ball down the other end of the field. What they've had so far, they've done pretty well. Although this is a big moment of the game. Big scrum, they need to get it right against this big Southern Districts pack. Make sure they work their way out of their own end successfully.
Set.
It's a pretty good scrum from both sides.
Ball coming back very slowly, a lot of pressure in there. Back it comes though for Grant. Finds Field at first receiver. And just trying to get a bit of space. Archie King with the kick. And King finds touch about 22 metres out.
Yeah, I think that's come off the side of the boot a little bit, Tony. Not a huge amount of meterage made. Knows it a little bit disappointed in himself, Archie King. Great attacking opportunity now for Southern Districts. Interesting to see Paul Asquith lining up in where the 12 would normally stand. Apolosi Latuni-Pulu 1 spot wider.
Southern Districts forwards looking to maul that up. Cannot do it though. Rooster Saifaloy, inside ball to Paul Asquith. Tackle just on the east 22. Here's Roos Payanga-Amosa around the corner. Makes short work of Clary Moore. Oh, there his forwards get in there. Hold him up. Moore's been called. There's the turnover. Longwell now. Hands off to Yeomans. Yeomans driven back in the tackle. Back it comes for Maddox. That ball's not out though. Taken by Veron on the full. Veron thinks, goes right. Finds Connolly. Runs straight into Clary Moore. That's a great tackle by Moore. Eastern Suburbs working hard at the breakdown. Southern Districts getting the penalty. Side entry.
Just come in the side.
That last play, Steve Longwell copped a shot, Tony, and he's in back play at the moment. He doesn't look like he's doing too well. Interesting to see what happens with the tight head prop for Eastern Suburbs. So look at this ball return from Jamie Veron. Nice ball on the outside. Huge tackle from Clary Moore on Ben Connolly. And then the beastie swarm.
That was a lucky touch finder too, just bouncing into touch. Almost a disaster there for Southern Districts. Let's see what they can do, because East have been pretty good on their own line.
Again, special thanks to High Tech Oils for providing the big screen. You can see just on the left of your picture.
Opportunity now for Southern Districts. Not a great line out though. Down it comes for East. James Field with the kick downfield. Veron traps that with his toes. Pulled his hands away at the last minute to avoid the knock on. Well tackled by Field. Yeoman's hard on the ball. Back it comes now for Southern Districts. Douglas around the corner. Here's Perez at first receiver. Sheminant and Moore with the tackle on him. Rooster Malmalanga. He offloads it to Saifaloy, to Asquith. Out it comes to Connolly now. Well tackled by Maddox. About 2 minutes outside the East 22, and another penalty for Eastern Suburbs at the breakdown. Oh, they're doing great work.
Well, that was our Cannon player in focus, Rowan Perry. I spoke about in the pre-game how important he would be at the breakdown today. And this is the issue you have. It's some lovely work through the hands from the Southern Districts Rebels, but look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4 Eastern Suburbs players, and they're straight on the ball. And it was that man Perry forcing the turnover.
King's touch finder gets the Beasties almost to the Southern District's 10-metre line. Another attacking opportunity for Eastern Suburbs.
Steve Longwell seems to be shaking off whatever issue he was facing a few minutes ago.
He's a big Scottish lad. This will be like playing in paradise for him, Shep. His compatriot Fenton, the line out throw. I've been impressed with Fenton. Archie King takes it to the line. Ball in both hands. And this time Southern Districts get the turnover. Brandon Payanga-Amosa.
Out you go. Two straight on the ball.
With his hands straight on the ball. So great work by the Southern Districts hooker.
Well, as you said, King did beautifully. I love the way he takes the ball to the line in two hands. He's actually one of the best in the competition of showing and going and using that to his advantage. But he just picked out the wrong person to run into, didn't he, boys? In the shape and form of Brandon Payanga-Amosa. Such a big unit and well balanced.
So once again, Southern Districts attacking line out right in front of us here at Central Commentary. Lovely jump by Ryan at the back. Now it comes for Saifaloy. There's Asquith, hands off to Latuni-Pulu. Great tackle on him though by James Field. Eastern Suburbs defending well today. Douglas around the corner. Short side they go. Out to Luke Smart. Oh, the big winger goes for a run. But he's been tackled by Clary Moore on the far side of Mackay Oval. Still Southern District's ball. Here's Jake Douglas. Perez at first receiver. Inside ball to Homopo. Longwell with the tackle. Seifaloy to Latuni Pulu. All the way out to Asquith. Tackle around the legs by Tom Merritt. Duet Roos goes left this time. Seifaloy finds Young on the burst. Asquith to Latuni Pulu. Oh, great tackle by Tim Buchanan. Anybody's ball. Jamie Ferron ends up with it. He's elusive. Finally gets tackled. Here goes Luke Smart down the corner. But he gets bundled into touch. Well, that is superb defence by this Eastern Suburbs outfit.
It was fantastic, wasn't it? And especially those last few tackles from Buchanan and then the last one from Joe Pincus. Luke Smart, he's a tough customer. A very hard man to bring down. And again, a long run of phases and continuity from the Southern District's Rebels. And Eastern Suburbs just weathered the storm.
Super tackle by Buchanan coming up out of the line. Although knock on by Eastern, line out time. A mistake coming. Here's Hamopo. Runs straight into King. Archie King slow to get up. Anybody's ball's been picked up by Latuni Pulu. Offloads to Asquith. Out it goes to Connolly for the corner. Inside ball to Asquith. Oh, it's a great try for Southern Districts. Paul Asquith with the 5-pointer on the western edge of Mackay Oval.
Well, we know how much this side loves to play with width. And the issue is when you turn the ball over at set piece, that's exactly where they want to go. Some lovely work through the hands, a bit of pace on the right edge from Connolly, and then the skipper making sure to be there in support on the inside. Southern Districts hits back, 7-5 on the Charter Hall Direct scoreboard.
Very difficult conversion attempt for Rowan Seifaloy. Straight into the teeth of this breeze.
Well, he won't be full of confidence after his first kick, will he, Tony? No. It's never a good feeling to miss one from right in front. Not his preferred side. He likes to bring the ball from right to left, but the issue is the wind is going to keep forcing the ball even further that direction.
I'm guessing this wind's probably a good 10, 12 knot breeze too.
One good thing on Rowan Seifaloy's side with this kick is he does strike the ball very well. So hopefully it doesn't sit up in the breeze too much. There's a fantastic look at it. Some ominous clouds on the horizon, but it should be okay. Not a bad hit, Tone.
Ah, superb. That's an absolutely wonderful conversion by Rowan Seifaloy. He planned that to perfection.
And looking at this is better play and it's good backup play. On the right-hand side, on the inside, tackles still to be made, but Southern Districts, and they really needed the score. They've had so much possession and the little stuff in tight hasn't worked. Good to see the expansive play work and that goal. After 100 games from Seifaloy, fantastic stuff.
Now, Will Maddox with the restart there, and Jamie Barron pressured into a pretty ordinary exit kick from the 22. So straight away, Eastern Suburbs with a great attacking position just outside the Southern District's 22.
Special thanks to drive.com.au for their continued support of the Intrust Super Shoot Shield. If you haven't checked it out yet, get on your computer right now. Go to drive.com.au. Check out all the amazing content they have to share.
Short ball from field to Yeomans. Yeomans gets him inside the 22. Needs to come quickly for Grant. They go right again. Fergus Lee Warner around the corner. Southern District's defence is there very quickly to shut him down, though. To the right they go. King, inside ball to Merritt. Merritt spins out a one. Gets tackled by the second Southern District's defender. They go to the right side. It's been picked up by Will Maddox. Maddox driven back in the tackle about 12 metres out from Southern District's try line. Luke Smart with the tackle. Here's Longwell, the tight head prop. Comes back for Grant. King to Field. Field got absolutely smashed by Latuni Pulu. Well, you could see that coming. Latuni Pulu lined him up. Archie King going himself, but there's been a knock-on spied by the touch judge, who lays it back to James Flecky.
Well, let's have a look at this big shot as it comes out the back. It was pretty scrappy from the Beasties. Grant delivers to King. That's the loose one, and as Field spins, whooshka. There's the left shoulder of Apolosi Latuni Pulu. He may not have his hit brother in Denny Godinay out there with him this afternoon, boys, but he's still ready to put on a few shots, I can assure you.
Let's go, please. Someone else can put it in. Let's go.
You can see we're only 30 minutes into this game, but already Mackay Oval starting to get ripped up.
Let's go. No, we're having the scrum, and we're having it now.
James Leckie not tolerating any slowdown in the game. Don't forget, next week, folks, Northern Suburbs versus Manly. I beg your pardon, in 2 weeks' time. We've got the bye next week on Saturday, the 24th of June, live and free from North Sydney Oval. It's North versus Manly.
Crouch. Fine. Hit.
Shoved by the Rebels. Southern District's ball. Told to use it. DeWitt Roos with the ball in hand. He's looking for touch with the exit kick and chews off about 30 metres with his kick. A good exit by DeWitt Roos.
His little stint down at the Brumbies has been fantastic for him. The thing that he needed was just to polish his game a little bit. We know he's energetic. We know he wants to keep the ball in play as often as he can, but he's polished his pass and his organisational skills, I just think, have gone to the next level since his little stint in Super Rugby.
Certainly a leader of the Southern District's team. To the front at Lee Warner it goes. King to field. Back to King. Southern District's up quickly. Here's Ned Yeomans looking for a way to the Southern District's line of defence. Couple of holes there. Lee Warner this time accelerates into contact. Malmalanga ankle taps him from behind. There's Clary Moore. Bit of a hospital pass for him. Jack Grant gets it away to Rowan Perry. Tries to offload it. It's been knocked on though by Connor Mitchell. Could have been an intercept for Mitchell if he was quick enough. So Perry just not aware of Connor Mitchell on his shoulder there.
Well, the issue both teams have at the moment is they're just a little bit too flat in phase play. And because the ball's slippery, it's a little bit slow really from the deck. And if your opposition has a lot of line speed, you're getting caught in that sort of situation where you've got no time. You've got to just sacrifice a couple of metres to make sure you've got enough depth to catch and pass in tough conditions.
Be good to see East to adapt to this rush-up defence from the Rebels, and it's really having an impact on those type passes, but it's something for them to look up and play what's in front of them.
Oh, great shot by Southern Districts, and the penalty goes to Southern Districts. Well, James Leckie very quick with the long arm there. I didn't see anybody standing up in the Eastern Suburbs front row. Cameron Fenton having a bit of problems with somebody in the Southern District's front row. Feelings are running a bit high in this one.
Yeah, Fenton and Clary Moore pretty upset about something. Cyphaloy and DeWitt Roos now in the thick of it.
Take your boys away.
Everyone else seems to be trying to calm it down. Still going on to the left. Field now involved.
Field and Longwell need to get back and join their teammates. Sure what happened there.
Well, we might get a look at it here, Tony. That's the scrum. A little bit out of picture. And here on the left side, I'm not sure what's going on. DeWitt Roos just trying to get to the ball, I think, but Buchanan involved. DeWitt Roos was actually flipped all the way over onto his back by Clary Moore, so something's happened between those two.
Cyphaloy and Longwell
wait.
exchanging pleasantries.
Time is out. That just came from nothing. All right, you nine-sledged him after the penalty. No, but he doesn't need to do that. Okay, that's not necessary. And then your six doesn't need to give him a bit of a facial. We're staying with the original penalty, but we don't need that. This is a freaking good game. Right, let's go.
Yeah, good refereeing by James Leckie.
Well, we're very lucky to have James Leckie down here this afternoon. These types of games are always pretty tough to referee. As we know, James Leckie, one of the best in the business, and handled that perfectly.
And fellas, very Australian dealing of that situation, don't you think?
And I think DeWitt Roos has been put on notice about his sledging.
Easy with the sledging. I think it was just a little bit of a hair up, Tony, nothing more than that. But anyway.
What do you expect from your halfback?
Exactly. So they paid for it.
Been knocked on by Southern Districts. Tim Buchanan falls on it for Eastern Suburbs. Scrum advantage for the Beasties. Fenton at first receiver. Back it comes for King.
Not out.
Well taken by Roos. finds Veron to the left. Jamie Veron winds up and takes off. Gets the ball to Smart. Luke Smart throws the dummy. Runs into the Eastern Suburbs defence. Well tackled, though, by Yeomans and Field. Seifaloy offloads to Hermopo. To Perez. The big number 6 makes some good meters. Seifaloy with the kick. Straight into the arms of Archie King. Jack Grant with the box kick downfield.
Yeah, it wasn't a smart play from Seifaloy, but that one's gone straight out on the full.
That one certainly wasn't a smart one. We're all tied up 7-0 on the Charter Hall Direct scoreboard. And of course, I meant we're all tied up 7-all. Lovely inside ball. Oh, to the Latuni Pool, who goes straight through, offloads to Luke Smart, and just like that, Luke Smart in his 150th grade game goes over for Southern District's second try, and they've cut open Eastern Suburbs defence like a hot knife through butter.
Wow, that was all just a little bit too easy, wasn't it, Tony? Beautiful ball there from Seifaloy, and then it was just a simple inside ball from Albert Hermopo. And as you said, Tony, he's in 150th first grade game. Luke Smart strolls under the posts and scores a great try for the Southern District's Rebels. They hit the lead. It's 12-7 here at Mackay Oval in Centennial Park. And Tony, I tell you what, it's been a strange old first half of rugby, but that was a lovely little piece of play from the Rebels.
It was a very, it has been a very intense first half, and Luke Cullinane just missing the tackle there on Latuni Pulu, which would have shut that movement down. And once he got through that, easy enough to get it away to Smart. There was nobody in front of Luke Smart. So very easy conversion attempt for Seifaloy. She'll take the Rebels to 14, you would think.
Obviously in the background of your pictures, you can see how much flooding there is down here at Centennial Park. We're lucky Mackay Oval is in such good nick. Huge amount of water to come down in Sydney over the last 48 hours.
As Joe Pinkers valiantly tried to charge that conversion down, but couldn't get there in time. So 14-7 is the score.
This is a coach's dream, well executed play, and on the inside, and inside again here, and it was good to see Smart come through and finish it off. It's also good to see that his jersey got a little bit dirty because it looked like David Campese's for a while standing out.
Well taken by Veron. Shamanin trying to get hands on the ball, couldn't do it. Jake Douglas at first receiver. That ball's gone forward surely, hasn't it? No whistle from the referee. Maddox takes the ball very, very well. Asquith on him immediately, though. Back it comes to Grant. They need to get it back. No, they've been out-rucked. Jack Grant just nips in behind the Southern District's players and gets it back, though. Luckily for Eastern Suburbs. Sheminant down the short side, and he gets driven into touch with the ball in hand. Asquith with the quick throw now. Southern District's looking to score another one before half-time. Latuni Pulu with the kick ahead. Luke Smart herring after it. Maddox takes it very well indeed. Oh, Will Maddox takes off. Great acceleration. But Pinkers couldn't hang on to the ball.
Well, it's back and forth stuff here.
Yeah, scrum advantage for Southern Districts.
Looks like they want to play, though.
Of course they do. Big, long pass to Connolly. Here's Asquith. Oh, great tackle by Buchanan on Asquith. That was Veron at scrum half. Marbalunga taking it up for the Rebels. Seifaloy with the kick, looking for touch. Will Maddox back there to protect the pill. And he'll bang it into touch about 25, 30 metres downfield right in front of us here in the commentary box.
He's done well, the young fullback, but what an amazing little run of events that was. That's great intrust, Super Shoot Shield rugby. End-to-end stuff, side to side. Will Maddox was fantastic earlier on in that play and just couldn't get the pass on the money down the right-hand side. Otherwise, I would have said it would have been another try for Eastern Suburbs. As they always do.
Tim Buchanan getting treatment there.
Special thank you to one of our maiden sponsors in 2017, Intermain. Go to intermain.com.au for all your interior design and construction needs. Intermain, smart spaces, beautifully delivered.
Well, Timmy Buchanan looks like he was just injured in that tackle. Looked innocuous enough, but looks like he's in a bit of pain there. Not sure if it's a hip or it's his hand, I think.
Yeah, it looks quite sore. Obviously some strapping on there pre-game, so I'd say an existing injury for the Beasties captain, but that's not the sort of face you want to see on a player. As I mentioned previously, a lot of the Colts and lower grades down at Centennial Park to support the first grade side. Majority of rugby games across Sydney been washed out.
The Eastern Suburbs side is a very young side, and what they probably lack, if they lack anything, is leadership from veterans in the team, and that's where Tim Buchanan really steps in to fill that void. You look at other teams in the competition and look at the leadership they have. The Holmes brothers at Warringah and Tom Carter at Sydney University and so on. But Eastern Suburbs really only have Buchanan and perhaps Perry. So a very young side. Finally, DeWitt Roos plucks it out of there, gives it to Saifulloy. Inside ball to Asquith. Such a good footballer, Paul Asquith. Round the corner comes Mal Malunga. Straight into Fergus Lee Warner. And Luke Cullinane working hard at the breakdown, looking for that turnover. And they get the penalty, Eastern Suburbs, once again at the breakdown. And DeWitt Roos getting a bit of his own back there from Tom Sheminan.
Well, we know Willie Marmalunga's not a small bloke, but look at the contact. Straight into Sheminan, bang.
Cullinane, Lee Warner, Sheminan, three beasties there to stop Willie. Archie King with the kick, and a lovely kick from Archie King all the way to the 22. Opportunity now for Eastern Suburbs to perhaps get back on level pegging by half-time.
With only 60 seconds to go in this first half, Tony Lewis, I'd say that Eastern Suburbs dying to score another try before half-time. They level things up before they come out for the second half.
Well, just that final pass has let them down on about 2 or 3 occasions now.
It's a bell going in the background. This will be the last play of the first half.
All the way to the back. Nice clean ball for Buchanan as the Eastern Suburbs forwards look to get that maul going. Making very good metres now. Cameron Fenton has it at the back. Forward they go. Still going, Fenton with the ball. He's on his own now, Fenton. Needs to go, tackled by Mal Malunga. Needs some help. Comes slowly for Grant. Archie King with the ball now. James Field. He's well tackled by Ryan. Beastie's looking for a way through. Here's Buchanan running straight into Saifulloy. Need the quick recycle. Grant barking orders. Round the corner comes Longwell. Big Stephen Longwell making valuable metres for Eastern Suburbs now. Well, patience is certainly needed. The pick and go from Rowan Perry. And up goes the arm. So right on the stroke of half-time, Rowan Perry, our cannon player in focus, like a thief in the night, plucks it up off the ground before Southern Districts even knew it.
Well, I said at the breakdown, that's where Rowan Perry was going to put his stamp on this game. And that's where it happens. You can see Perry there just having a little bit of a look at the previous breakdown. It was a lovely carry from Steve Longwell. And then you watch Perry arrive here. That's the man there with the headgear on. And he just has a little bit of a glance through the middle. And there is no way Connor Mitchell was going to be able to stop Rowan Perry from there. It's a great try to the Beasties' open side.
Kick is successful. So at half-time here at Mackay Oval, we're all tied up at 14 points apiece between Eastern Suburbs and Southern Districts. A very intense first 40. Second 40 is going to be even better. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be back with the half-time show in just a few moments.
Sunday, June 11th, the UFC returns to Auckland with a massive main event featuring our very own Mark Hunt. The Super Samoan faces the Black Beast Derek Lewis in a matchup of two of the most dangerous heavyweight knockout artists on the planet. Plus, Daniel Kelly returns to take on Derek Brunson in a pivotal middleweight belt. UFC Fight Night Auckland. Black Beast Derek Lewis versus Super Samoan Mark Hunt. Tomorrow, live, Sky Sport 4.
Get on your knees!
If you wanted me back, you could have just asked me.
Let me simplify it for you. Kick some ass and try to look dope while you do it.
I could definitely make that work.
Triple X, Return of Xander Cage.
Guns, girls, global domination. Xander Cage is back.
Get your paws on the only app that takes you inside rugby's greatest series.
Oh, and that's thumb drive.
The Sky Sport Highlights app, free to Sky Sport customers. Get access to highlights of every test and midweek match and exclusive extras. Super Rugby Haka, interviews, training, and so much more.
And historic moment.
Download the app now. Search Sky Sport Highlights in your app store.
Enemies to the east. Enemies to the west. Enemies to the south. Enemies to the north. Whatever stands in our way, we will defeat it. We're the last Lannisters. The last ones who count.
I was born to rule the Seven Kingdoms. And I will.
The king in the north!
Your father and brothers are gone, yet here you stand. Last best hope against the coming storm.
If we don't put aside our enmities and band together, we will die. And then it doesn't matter whose skeleton sits on the Iron Throne.
The Great War is here.
Well done. That is a champion's performance this year.
Crown Bet Darwin Triple Crown starts Friday live Sport Pop-Up.
Welcome back to Centennial Park, a special venue for round 11 of the Intra Super Shoot Shield, and it is a beautiful place, just a short walk with plenty of parklands from the Sydney CBD as you join us for the half-time wrap-up. Cameron Shepherd, 14 all. What a game we have between East Beasts and Southern Districts.
Yeah, it really has been great, hasn't it? And considering the conditions that have been pretty tricky, especially that cricket pitch in the middle of the field, I've thought both sides have played pretty well. I've got to say, I think Southern Districts will probably be kicking themselves that they've missed a few opportunities in the first half, but Eastern Suburbs done very well to stay in touch with a pretty good side.
And when they got the ball, East, I was really happy with their endeavour and their ability to throw the ball around, Chef.
Yeah, well, look, that's a key to their game, and this one was probably just a lucky roll of the ball because it was lazy work from Douglas getting back to get on that ball. Excuse me, it was Ryan, and Field just made the most of his opportunity.
Absolutely, and I think the thing about this is backing up, and they did it really well.
Well, they're one of the best in the competition. The Southern Districts Rebels are doing it. They love to play an expansive game, but they do have the skills to support their pass, and that was beautiful play. And this one was really a little bit too easy. Beautiful little inside ball from Hamopo to Apolosi Latuni-Pulu. Another little inside ball to Luke Smart, and in his 150th first grade game, scores under the sticks for the Rebels.
And then the Beast, right on the stroke of half-time, hit back. And this is about playing what's in front of you, isn't it?
Yeah, it certainly is. The last thing that Matt Barr would have wanted in that last 60 seconds was for the Eastern Suburbs to lock up the scores, and through Rowan Perry, some pretty smart thinking, and it's 14-all here at Centennial Park.
Yeah, 14-all, and the guy joining us in the middle is Matt Everard from New South Wales Rugby and East Beast, so you'll be happy half-time. There's a lot of junior rugby to talk about, and you're the man for it.
Yeah, we've got New South Wales State Championships on this weekend, which is great. We've got over 150 teams participating right across the state, from under 10s right through to under 17s, from the bush to the beach. So it's really excellent stuff for the pathway kids.
Yeah, it's really exciting, isn't it? Look, this is where we've got to keep people interested in rugby union, and there's some fantastic talent out there, so looking forward to see them in action.
Should be great. Really good opportunity for all the kids and their teams.
And a quick one, how do you think your boys are going?
Yeah, they're going all right, mate. It was good to get that little one back on half-time, so big second half to come.
And you've played in these before, haven't you, Shep?
Yeah, mate, I have. I actually played in Darwin when they were on, and it was about 45 degrees every game, so hopefully the boys have got better conditions than that.
All right, Meadowborough, thanks very much for joining us, and good luck with the BCs and good luck with the junior stuff. We'll be back after the break when we see more action here from Mackay Oval, 14-all between East Beasts and Southern Districts.
Lions are coming. We should get the boys together.
We got 10 games, 3 tests.
Warren's coming home, boys. Let's give them another warm welcome.
It's 120 years, I think it dates back. Be a part of that is certainly something special.
Do they rule like real lions?
They roll in Macho Haka.
Yeah!
Rugby's greatest series.
Rugby's greatest series.
Rugby's greatest series.
The DHL Lions Series 2017 Crusaders Lions, live tonight, Sky Sport 1. Broadcast coverage proudly brought to you by Hyundai New Zealand.
Here are this month's Sky On Demand Top 5 downloaded movies. All these and many more are ready and waiting for Sky Movies customers to watch now with Sky On Demand.
I dreamed I saw the devil dressed in his Sunday suit. He tried to pull me closer, but my feet, they would not move. This train is bound for glory after.
Do you have any idea how powerful you are?
My sins to my grave.
Whatever stands in our way, we will defeat it.
I'll take my sin to my grave.
She had a monster inside of her.
The Great Wall is here.
They're Hollywood's most wanted.
I'm one of the lads.
And they're on the run this July.
Every time we
Escape with Sky Movies.
takes me out of my mind. Every time we wow, chicka wow wow.
Oh. Yeah.
Takes me out of my mind. Takes me out of my mind.
We have reached the point of no return.
They must have that money. You load up a truck and you drive away. Let's rock.
Roger that, Captain. Takes me out of my mind.
I know you'll do what must be done.
Hello?
Hey, are you seeing this? We gotta go right now!
Keep the noise down. Nah, turn it up.
With these premieres in glorious high definition, and even more movies ready to view right now on demand.
Sounds good, man.
Make your escape this July with Sky Movies.
Get ready for an incredible rugby spectacular as the might of the Pacific go back-to-back. Wales see red as they take on Tonga.
The little halfback is over.
Then the Haka faces Sivatau once more.
The sea of blue has gone crazy.
2 huge games that will kickstart your international rugby year.
And here is an opportunity.
What a finish.
The American Express Pacifica Challenge, Friday live, Sky Sport 1. Coverage proudly brought to you by Ford.
Welcome back to Centennial Park, the scene for round 11 of the Intrust Super Shoot Shield. And the Ducks have been out playing in the wet weather, but it's a beautiful day for us, for rugby, between East and Southern Districts. Now, around the grounds, of course, it's 14 all here at Mackay Oval. Manly 22 leading West Harbour 9. And just a short round today, Eastwood 19 leading Gordon 7. As I said, we are at Mackay Oval and at Centennial Parklands. Joining us is Carla Amane. And Carla, you work for the Parklands. Thank you very much for getting Mackay Oval ready.
No, it's great, and it's fantastic to have such a fixture here today.
All right, so the Parklands is not just about, cycling. There's so many things you can do.
There are so many things. Our visitors come here because they love to go for a bike ride, horse riding. We have a number of beautiful cafes, walks, all our tours and guides. There's so many wonderful things to do here.
All right, thanks very much for joining us, and enjoy the rugby.
Great, thank you.
All right, thank you, Vespa Carla. And it's time to go to our commentary position with Tony and Cam Shepherd.
Thanks very much, Duro. James Leckie just getting the thumbs up to get us underway. Will Maddox with the ball in hand now. And this second half is going to be an intense 40 minutes of rugby, Shep. You just mentioned to me during the break that the team that wants it the most is the team that will do well in the second half, because it is getting slippery out there. People are getting tired.
Yeah, that's certainly right, Tony. Look, it's tough conditions. You got to turn up to play. There's not 100,000 people supporting you this afternoon. You've just got to want it more than your opposition. The Southern Districts trying to battle out of their own 20.
Well, Perez was tackled there. He got up and went again, but the East let it bounce. That's not good. Archie King gets belted by big Albert Hemopo.
Well, if you're trying to convince your coach that you want it more, that's not a good start. The ball dropping in between King, and I believe that to be Will Maddox. You just can't make those sort of mistakes.
So the early mistake by East gives possession back to Southern Districts. Paenga Hermosa throws to the back. Nice clean pill at line-out time. Bounce pass into the hands of Luke Smart. Well tackled around the ankles, though, is Smart by Cullinane. The kick into the 22. Will Maddox flying back to get hands on the ball. He props and kicks, looking for the touchline. It's not going to go out, though. Well taken by Veron. Jamie Veron now goes himself. Maddox around the ankles. Moore's there also. Eastern Suburbs hands on the pill, looking for the penalty. They didn't get it.
Oh, very lucky to get away with that, Southern Districts.
Duet Roos finds Hemopo at first receiver. Duet Roos goes to the right side. Asquith with a little stab kick through, putting pressure once again on Will Maddox, whose debut is kicks been charged down. Asquith, I beg your pardon. It's Ben Connolly, and Ben Connolly scores the first try of the second half. Will Maddox's kick gets charged down, and Connolly very quick to pounce on that.
Well, I was just about to say, Tony Lewis, that you didn't have to be a genius to work out what the game plan was from Southern Districts. It was pepper. Will Maddox with some kicks, but some smart work from Ben Connolly, the veteran out on the right wing. Southern District strikes first in the second half, 19-14 on the Charter Hall Direct scoreboard.
Eastern Suburbs in the huddle now, just having a bit of a chat about how to recover from that early disappointment. Will Maddox under plenty of pressure as he tried to clear that ball, and he was just about a second too late with it. Charge down, and Connolly very, very quick to take advantage. Seifaloy now with the penalty attempt. Take the Rebels into the 20s.
Well, some solid marks on the side of his head, Tony. It looks like he's copped a boot at one point in time in this game.
Yeah, that's a decent old hematoma for Rowan.
Looks to be just out of the wet stuff. Bad strike.
Raises the flag. Southern Districts move to 21. Eastern Suburbs 14. 7-point lead for the Rebels. Good to see some youngsters down here today. supporting their club rugby heroes.
And this is about chasing it and wanting it, and this was exactly what they did, the Rebels scoring the try. And the message from half-time in the sheds from Southern Districts was, this will come down to who wants it the most. Keep getting up and knocking them down, play field position and be patient with the opportunity. Certainly the case in that. And for East, the message was, don't go wide until you make the hard yards up the middle. They believe they're fitter and more mobile, so they'll wear them down. And at the end of the day, it'll be the forward pack that gets on top.
Saifaloy looking for touch. Chews off about 35 metres or so with that kick.
Well, you can see that they've started to target Will Maddox at the back of this Eastern Suburbs team. There's been some really smart kicks, just putting him into pressure situations where he has to make that tough call. Do I run it? Do I kick it? Or do I look to pass to someone else? The hard thing for a young footballer in tough conditions is once you make the wrong decision once, the pressure starts to build. As we see a few changes coming from the Southern District side of the field. That's Marcus Carboni coming on in the number 19 jersey.
And Alex Gibbon moves into the back line, placing the try scorer, Connolly.
Perez comes from the field. Been pretty impressive in that opening 45 minutes.
Clean ball for Tim Buchanan. Eastern Suburbs on attack. Archie King throws the dummy, goes himself. They don't fall for it though. Left side they go, back to Grant. To Maddox, looking for a way through. Taken around the ankles though. By the new man. His big Longwell on the burst. Runs straight into Hamopo. Good effective defence from Albert Hamopo. Grant goes wide to Maddox. Oh, there's three of them there. Marmalanga, Smart, and Connor Martin. Connor Mitchell all over Will Maddox. Rowan Perry, now Cannon player in focus, advances the ball a few metres. Comes quickly for King. King with the kick into space. Need to get someone there. Jim Field is there. Eastern Suburbs can't pick it up. DeWitt Roos throws on it. Scrum advantage now for the Rebels. Roos digs it out of there. Finds Douglas. Ryan, I beg your pardon. Angus Ryan. Saifaloy scrum half. There's DeWitt Roos. Kick coming from Roos.
Over from the knock.
There it is. Who's there to get it for Eastern Suburbs? Tim Buchanan with the tackle, but the small knock on from Southern Districts give Eastern Suburbs the scrum on the far side of Mackay.
Oh, we know it's through scrum time. Let's go. Scrum here, guys.
Physicality definitely picking up in this second half of play. Drew's looking at the little toppy. It was a nice little play. Unfortunately, just drifting forward there.
Looks like the knock-on came from Gibbon, the new man.
Crouch.
Again, how much of an issue is this cricket pitch in the middle of the field going to play? Very, very slippery indeed. We've already seen so many players lose their footing.
One more step.
Good scrum by Eastern Suburbs. Back it comes now for Jack Grant. Archie King floats one out to Maddox. Will Maddox almost go to the tackle, then he loses the ball. Play on, says the referee. Ned Yeoman's down the corner now. Need to get that ball out quickly. Southern District's competing fiercely. Back it comes. Clary Moore offloads to Fergus Lee Warner. Quick recycle. Archie King throws the dummy, then goes himself. Payanga Amosa doesn't fall for it though.
No, you missed, leave it.
King offloads to Clary Moore. Eastern Suburbs getting closer to the try line. They go left side again. There's Buchanan. It's Cullinane. Comes slowly for Grant. Archie King takes it to the line. Inside ball to Clary Moore. Good defence though by Southern Districts. Ball squirts out. Archie King has the ball now. Offloads to Ned Yeomans. Yeomans can't get past Connor Mitchell. Good job by the Southern Districts breakaway. Here's Buchanan. Gets belted by Luke Smart. Still his ball though. Grant goes himself. There's Lee Warner. Need to get in there and protect possession, Eastern Suburbs. Penalty goes to Eastern Suburbs.
First guy's going to roll. First guy's Oh.
Southern District's not rolling away.
Well, there's some nice play there from Eastern Suburbs, and especially like those switch balls, as I was talking about in the first half. Just to change the direction and force these Southern Districts players, these big boys, to have to change direction quickly on a slippery surface. There's a big shot there from Luke Smart on the Eastern Suburbs skipper. Some solid defence all round. As I said, you can just feel the intensity starting to lift here at Centennial Oval.
Missed his line at fair sack, says the referee. Need to regroup and go again. The Eastern Suburbs.
This guy sacks it, you started another maul with obstruction.
They have completely blown that situation, Eastern Suburbs. Completely misread it.
Well, I couldn't tell you, Tony, if that was poor execution in attack or just very, very smart defence from the Southern Districts Rebels. I'd say it was probably the latter. They read the line out very well, and when they didn't engage, Eastern Suburbs needed to split and just run with the ball. Unfortunately, they didn't do so, and that's what's caused the penalty. There you can see absolutely no one connected to that maul.
Yeah, well, Sheminant and Moore weren't the ball carriers. They were in effect blocking for the ball carrier, and you cannot do that once the maul's been sacked.
Well, the silly thing was they had the better amount of players on their feet. If they had just stayed on their feet and run the ball, they were in a great position.
Been well taken by Carboni at line-out time. Asquith with the kick. He thumps it downfield. Well taken by Maddox, though. Takes the line drive. Will Maddox accelerates around the corner. He's very, very quick. Taken from behind, though, by Smart.
Oh, he's done exceptionally well today, Maddox, under the circumstances.
There's Clary Moore fighting for metres. Archie King finds Tom Sheminant, the big loose head prop, in midfield. Which way will they go? They go left. Clary Moore with the ball now. Scored a great try against West Harbour last weekend. Anybody's pill. Finally, Grant scoops it up, gives it to King. Archie King thinks about it, offloads to Yeomans. Ned Yeomans straight through the hole. Oh, he's got runners everywhere, Yeomans. What's he going to do? He keeps onto it himself. He should have passed it. Oh, my goodness me. Jack Grant now offloads to Lee Warner.
Well, he had to give that, Tony, but it might not be all over yet.
Still East ball. There's Fenton. Fenton, the hooker. Comes quickly for Grant. Oh, lovely round the corner is Rowan Perry. Oh, he's very close. Very close. A half a metre shy is Rowan Perry. Southern District showing that ball down and slowing that ball down dramatically.
Well, that was a magnificent ball from Grant.
James Leckie unsighted. East need to get it out. Grant's in there. Needs to dig it out of there. Pick and go is the call, is it? There's the try, is it? No. Needs to come out. Tom Sheminant has the ball now. He'll go himself. Sheminant very close.
Fantastic tackle from Pyanga Amosa.
Eastern Suburbs forwards trying to get it done. They're short again. Rowan Perry has hands on the ball. Short pass. There's Buchanan fighting hard. Buchanan. There's the try by Tim Buchanan. Finally, he gets it down against the upright, and the Beasties strike back.
Well, even better knowledge of the rules, Tony Lewis. If you're wondering why they've awarded that try when it didn't cross the chalk, that's because if you do score it against the front of the pad, it's a fair try. This one from Yeomans. The ball had to go. Look at him lining up. Give it to Pincus. Let him run it under the sticks. Yeomans decided to go himself, and I thought they might have bombed it. But some great patience from the Eastern Suburbs Beasties, and the skipper scores one here at Mackay Oval in Centennial Park. 21-19 on the Charter Hall Direct scoreboard.
We are back. The conversion successful by King. So once again, we're tied up. 3 converted tries apiece, 21 all. And you start to get the feeling, Shep, that it could just be a penalty kick or a drop goal that wins this one at the end of the day.
Well, we've seen it so many times over the last few years, haven't we? We knew this one was going to be an arm wrestle. Plenty of time left for one team to grab this one by the scruff of the neck.
Seifaloy with the restart. Well taken by Buchanan. Taken around the ankles, though, by Connor Young with tackle by the Southern District's loose head. Out it comes now to Sheminant. He offloads to Moore. Back it comes for Archie King. It needs to stay in this ball. Can't go out on the full. Well taken by Luke Smart. Jamie Verron now kicks for the corner. Nobody home for East. Yes, there is. Archie King's there. Well covered by the 5'8". And he kicks it into touch. Not a great kick.
No. Off the side of his boot again. If we can get a replay of that last kick, he's got himself into a really bad habit of falling off his ball drop and his kick. And if we do get a look at it, watch the way he just leans, and so that's why he's slicing the ball off the side of his foot. He needs to learn to drop the ball squarer, be more control over the ball, and he's going to start kicking it where he wants it to go.
Another replacement for Southern District's forwards, Big Albert Hamopo. His afternoon is over, and he's replaced by Kieran Black, wearing jersey number 20, and that is a quality replacement. Kieran Black played plenty of first grade for this Southern Districts club. All the way to the back. Black takes the ball to Saifaloy. There's Asquith. Asquith inside to 21. That's Alex Gibbon, the replacement. The quick pick and go by Latuni Pulu. Great work from the inside centre for Southern Districts. Here's Mitchell, the breakaway. Southern Districts looking to get one back immediately. Here's Black now. Beg your pardon, that was Carboni. Marcus Carboni. Here's Black. Hit hard by Longwell. Steve Longwell trying to get hands on the pill.
Oh, it's a ruck now. He's got a release.
Yep, the ruck beaten by the ruck. Right side they go. Jamie Verron takes it into contact. Willie Malmalunga at first receiver. He's done well. On a young play, scrum half. Angus Ryan takes it up. Very patient now. Connor Mitchell off the back, hands off to Painga Amosa, and he's lost it forward. Been picked up by Clary Moore, offloaded to Yeomans. Let's see what Eastern Suburbs can do. Ned Yeomans now. Maddox offloads to Archie King. King kicks ahead, but that's gone out on the fly, so they'll go back. Well, Eastern Suburbs looking to break out from the quick turnover.
Wow, that's such a shame that it ended that way, because what beautiful play it was. Rowan Perry again, influential at the tackle. He was the man that stripped it straight off the Brandon Paenga Amosa. But again, just a sloppy kick from Archie King on the edge, costing Eastern Suburbs a golden opportunity. That's Paenga Amosa carrying. You can see Rowan Perry there with the headgear and the blonde hair. And then some beautiful stuff from the outside backs of Eastern Suburbs. Lovely through the hands from Will Maddox.
Kieran Black crashing it up in midfield for the Rebels now. The big don't argue from Cameron Fenton on Southern District's halfback Roos. Round the corner comes Kieran Black. Pick and go from Connor Mitchell. Out it goes to Verron now. Tried to get it inside to Smart.
Well, it would have been a beautiful little flick pass if it had come off. Verron got on the outside, saw Smart ducking underneath. Just couldn't put it on his chest.
Eastern Suburbs defender was offside at the ruck. And Rowan Saifaloy says, let me step up, boys, and have a crack at it.
Well, look, Tony, I'm very interested to see them make this decision. Now, he can move the ball backwards, but he can't move it laterally. So if he wants to take the ball off the cricket pitch, by the rules, he's not allowed to do it. Now, it is going to be very, very tough indeed to make sure. And he's asking. Now, you can't. You're not allowed to move it onto that nice grass. You've got to kick it from where the penalty mark was, or from any zone along that plane working towards your try line. So this is going to be a very, very tough kick for Rowan Saifaloy.
Tim Buchanan has been replaced. So the Eastern Suburbs skipper, his afternoon is over, and he's been replaced by big Lewis Dwyer, out there for the Beasties in jersey number 19. Eastern Suburbs will miss Tim Buchanan for the final 25 minutes or so of this game.
I don't want to put the mocker on him, boys, but I'll be very surprised if Rowan Saifaloy remains on his feet for this kick. That is incredibly slippery, that cricket pitch, and he's about to plant on one foot and try and swing at a rugby ball. Interesting decision from the Rebels.
If it goes over, it'll be even more impressive.
Oh, I'll stand up and applaud. Oh, I think he's nailed it.
Up you get, Cameron
Well,
Shepherd.
Rowan Seifaloy, you've got my credit, mate. That was impressive.
Lovely penalty kick from Rowan Seifaloy, moving the Rebels into a 3-point lead, 24-21 here at Mackay Oval.
Oh, wow. That's why you don't try and predict things in commentary, isn't it, Tony?
Maddox with the restart. Stays low this one. Awkward bounce. Finally picked up by Veron. And it goes to Seifaloy. Puts it out there to Asquith. Oh, lovely tackle around the ankles. That's Ned Yeomans. What a superb defence from Yeomans. The Wet Roos is told to use it. And he, I'm not sure what he was trying to attempt there. I think he was looking for Kieran Black on his left side and just ended up just hoiking it into touch accidentally. So Eastern Suburbs line out right on halfway.
Well, he's trying to create something, Tony, and keep them guessing in that Eastern Suburbs defensive line, but maybe not the right time to try that little dart down the short side.
Big Steve Longwell leaves the field. He's had a good game for Eastern Suburbs. He's replaced by Jake Turnbull in jersey 18.
Sheminant just having a word with Fenton there. It's not a bad attacking position for the Beasties.
Well taken by Lee Warner. Inside ball to Pincus. Runs straight into Seifaloy now. They're all on him, trying to keep him up. Oh, he's been stripped. Been stripped. I think that was, might have been Black. Anybody's ball now. It's on the deck. Eastern Suburbs working hard for it. Lee Warner gets it back to his halfback. Oh, dear me. Out it comes now to Clary Moore. Over the top to Ned Yeomans. Here goes Yeomans once again. He refuses to pass and tries to get past number 19, Marcus Carboni. Can't do it. Here's Maddox. A couple of knock-ons there. Anybody's ball squirts into touch, but a couple of knock-ons first. James Leckie asking the question. First one by Southern District, so Eastern Suburbs gets the scrum.
Well, whoever in the Eastern Suburbs kit room has got the sticky spray, I think they need to keep it away from Ned Yeomans. That's a couple of times now when that ball has had to leave his hands and promoted to a better part of the field.
Shep, I think he's actually struggling, where to go when he gets the ball. It's not so much of him holding it on just to trying to be selfish. He's just wondering, well, do I go outside further or inside? Just a bit of indecision that's leading to him holding it a bit longer than he should.
Don't forget another one of our great sponsors, Charter Hall Direct, paying up to 6.5% per annum income on your investment. Go to their website, www.charterhalldirect.com.au. Great scrum by Eastern Suburbs. Grant gets it away. It's on the deck, though. Little knock on by James Field.
There's no offence. There's no offence.
Oh, now, come on now. Duet Roos.
Just get away from him. Don't you run in.
No, come on now.
No, I agree with you, Tony, but whether it was silly or not, he's thrown himself down on his own head, Duet Roos.
He's tried
and
to
I'm actually genuinely concerned for his neck there because that was silly.
He's tried to do a backflip, though.
He has. He's flopped for the penalty, not disputing that. But in flopping,
Brendan, turn around and take
obviously accidentally, he's thrown himself onto his own neck. Have a look at it here.
Oh, he's okay. He's okay. I think he's okay.
Let's have a little look at Macca, have a look at the screen while this is on. Yep.
Yeah, so there's red 9's hanging on to blue 12, and as blue 12's sort of gotten to his feet, red 9's then taken a tumble off him.
Taking a dive? Or was there anything?
Yeah, look, I think so. I don't think there's enough in it to go to the, to the bin.
Where was I at before that?
So
I was
we were
at
playing a
the
scrum.
knock-on to red.
And then red 9 was just trying to get the ball, essentially.
Sure, okay. Thank you, we're playing the scrum.
Southern Districts by 3, 24-21 on the Charter Hall Direct scoreboard.
Yeah,
What's he doing? Madness.
Well, in a very bizarre sequence of events, I think Duet Roos has done himself no favours there by trying to flop for the penalty, throwing himself into a backflip, and now he's being replaced by Eli Pilts.
You know, if he hadn't have flopped, I think he would have been awarded the penalty, Tony, but the reason for throwing himself like that, just so incredibly dangerous to throw yourself into that position. He looks okay.
Well, he's obviously an athletic guy that can actually do a backflip, otherwise he wouldn't have tried to do it. So anyway, he looks okay, so I'm happy that it's all turned out well. Pilt's feeding the scrum now for Southern Districts.
He tried to sneak for a quick look at the replay too on the big screen.
Use it if you want to.
All right, Southern Districts ball. It's not pretty, but Asquith has it now. Nice stiff arm on Field. Field still affects the tackle though. Pilts digs it out of there. Out it goes to Black. Black throws the dummy. Angus Ryan taking it up for the Rebels. Eli Pills leaves it behind. No knock on, says the referee. Southern Districts winging it out. Big passes by the Southern Districts boys. The kick downfield. Maddox has across to get hands on it. Big pressure on him from Veron, I think it was. Maddox has hooked it back to Luke Smart. Smart thinks about the kick, then runs straight into Jake Turnbull. Pills now with the kick. That's been charged down. Jamie Veron with the ball in hand now. They've got space over here if they can get it wide quickly enough. There's Gibbon trying to fight off James Field. Eli Pills gets it out of there, finds Saifaloy. That's Veron with the kick downfield. Being picked up by Maddox. Maddox accelerates down the sideline. He's dropped the ball. Archie King careful not to get caught offside. Ryan taking it up. He's been tackled well by Lee Warner. Southern District's ball again. Here's Saifaloy now. Gets it out the far side to Latuni Pulu. Inside ball to Asquith. Into the 22 they go now, Southern Districts.
Fantastic tackle from Rowan Perry.
Eastern Suburbs trying to get the turnover. They can't get it though. Southern Districts looking to increase that lead. That's gone to ground. Been fallen on by Douglas. He pushes it back. Finally, Pills gets there. They've lost meters though. Still Rebels ball. Out it goes to Ryan.
Oh, he's been in everything this afternoon, Angus Ryan.
He's had a great game, Ryan. To Black. There's Carboni taking it up. Comes quickly. Knock on by Southern Districts. Not called by James Leckie. Play on. There's the kick ahead. Archie King needs to get back there. Pincus just couldn't hang on to it. Now Jack Grant. And James Leckie's called a knock on. The Suburbs aren't happy about it. I don't think it was a knock on either.
Wow, it's hard to argue with that. He was never in control. And then very scrappy off the back. We'll get a look at it here, Tony. It was a lovely little kick off the outside of the foot from Apolosi Latuni Pulu.
Yeah, okay.
And, well, look, it's a very tricky one there, but juggling the ball behind your back.
Well, he did promote it, forwards.
He did.
Even though
James Leckie had to make a decision one way or another, and it looks like we've got another injured player.
Looks like an Eastern Suburbs player is down. Not sure who that was.
Might get a look at it here. That's Asquith chasing the ball. Pincus actually did very well to get across and make sure that Asquith didn't come up with it. And then looking, is that Fenton that's down on the ground?
Yeah, Fenton the hooker. 24-21, South on top by 3 on the Charter Hall Direct scoreboard. Salesi Marmalunga on the bench, waiting for his opportunity to join his brother Willie on field, perhaps coughing it from the boys. Next week's, beg your pardon, in 2 weeks' time, we'll be at Northern Suburbs Oval for North, the defending premiers, taking on the competition leaders and Manly, live and free, 3 p.m. on 7/2. That's the 24th of June. We have the bye next week.
Yeah, that'll be a cracker. They always put on a good show, Norths and Manly. Norths chasing redemption after their loss to Manly 5 weeks ago. They were the team that broke the streak. Let's not forget, big rematch in the Intrust Super Shoot Shield.
All right, opportunity now for the Rebels to put something on from set piece. Pills finally gets it out of there. Saifaloy leaves it behind. Lovely ball from Asquith to Gibbon. And that penalty's against Perry.
Don't run in there.
Just got the timing wrong.
Don't run in there. You've got an obvious penalty. Got to leave the halfback alone, Seven. Back you go. Shot.
Such a judgment call, isn't that? Rowan Perry obviously thinking that
Halfback alone. Step back.
Pils had picked up the ball, had hands on the ball, therefore it was fair game anyway.
Well, it's a tricky part of the game. You've just got to make a decision and wait and see what happens. It's the ref's interpretation, and unfortunately that time Rowan Perry just coming out on the wrong side. And if I thought the last one was hard, this one looks even harder for Rowan Seifeloy. Look at the mud piles surrounding him.
The way he's been kicking it, though, I'd back him in from there.
Look at the mud all over his boots and his legs. This is going to be another tough one.
You got to love Intrust Super Shoot Shield rugby action on the Saturday afternoon with the mud and the blood and the guts. Fantastic. Rowan Seifeloy looking to be the hero for his Southern District's Rebels. If he gets this, it will give them a 6-point lead with about 15 to go. Eastern Suburbs supporters giving it to him. Looks pretty good from here. No mistake from Seifeloy. They move to 27, Southern Districts.
Well, they're two clutch kicks, ladies and gentlemen. They're not easy, I can assure you. And under this sort of pressure, to give his team a 5-point lead, two big plays from Rowan Seifeloy.
We're about 13 minutes away from full time. Eastern Suburbs need to get cracking if they want to take this one. Jamie Verron wastes no time pumping it downfield. Well taken on the full by Maddox, who's had a very auspicious debut for Eastern Suburbs in his first game. Pincus has knocked that one on Cole, unfortunately for Eastern Suburbs. So it'll be a Southern District's attacking scrum about 30 metres out.
Well, that's a shame, because the back three for Eastern Suburbs I've been really impressed with today, especially Will Maddox at the back. As I said, a really tough game for a young man to come in and play this position. He's had to deal with a lot of long-range kicks, and he's done pretty well. Of course, special thanks to our major sponsor, Intrust Super. If you haven't done it already, visit IntrustRugby.com and check out all the incredible services Intrust Super provides.
Crouch. Fine. Sit. Yeah, mate.
Comes slowly for Southern Districts. Finally, Carboni digs it out of there. Seifeloy hands off to Latuni Pulu. Good tackle by Archie King. Rowan Perry's all over him. He's quickly cleared out of there, though. Angus Ryan taking it up for the Rebels. He's had a busy game for Southern Districts also. Ryan, reliable second rower. Now they go to get it wide. There's Asquith to Verron. Good tackle, though, by Merritt. Shuts down the play. Eastern Suburbs with the turnover.
Well, he had to make the tackle, Merritt, didn't he? And he did brilliantly.
Jack Grant takes it up. Here's Lee Warner trying to get them some metres.
East have got a huge overlap on this near side, Tony, if they can move the ball there.
Here's Jake Turnbull now. They need to move it quickly. Oh, lovely ball. Rowan Perry into the gap. He's got Field on his right shoulder. Hands off the Field. I don't think Field's quick enough to get away from those Southern Districts defenders, though he's not. Archie King finally gets the ball out of there. Now Clary Moore has it. He needs some help. Eastern Suburbs desperate for the try. Grant goes to the right, tries to go himself. Angus Ryan with the tackle. He's trying to settle things down now. Here goes Tom Sheminit with the pick and go. Another pick and go. That was by Dwyer.
Oh, that's a huge shot from Black on Perry.
Back it comes for King. Oh, a little kick ahead by Archie King. Still in play. And it goes dead in goal. Just about a metre or two shorter. Would have been perfect for Maddox.
Yeah, just a little bit too long. Maddox was flying down this right-hand touchline.
They've asked for the 22.
Just a little bit too far. Some more great play from Eastern Suburbs, though. Kick. Maddox would have got there if he'd possibly just been a little bit shorter.
He's got good speed, Will Maddox. So 22 restart by Southern Districts, 10 minutes to go here at Mackay Oval. As the light is starting to get pretty dim, it must be said. Big hit. Big hit on Dwyer.
It was Asquith and Mitchell.
Here's Lee Warner. Oh, he gets shoved into the defence by Fenton, the hooker. Archie King now. Good interplay for Eastern Suburbs. James Field. Pick and go by Clary Moore. Driven backwards by Paenga Amosa. Aggressive defence from the Southern Districts hooker. Here go the Beasties now. Rowan Perry with the ball in hand. It's been stripped by Southern Districts. Back it comes though for East. There's Sheminant. Grant now finds Perry. Rowan Perry scored one try, looking for a second. There's Field. Eastern Suburbs just going one out now.
Oh, it's smart play, Tony.
Clary Moore needs a runner. And Archie King couldn't get it away. Back it comes now. There's Sheminant. Tackle around the ankles by Ryan. Beg your pardon, Douglas. Lee Warner this time. Great defence, driven backwards in the tackle.
Yeah, that was Connor Mitchell, Tony, and I think he might have stolen it in the process. No, still East ball.
Back it comes for East, though. Now Malunga's in there. Needs to get out of there. Archie King steps off the right foot. Can't get past Luke Smart, though. Eastern Suburbs need to settle it down. Just be patient. Sheminant taking it up now. Penalty advantage for the Beasties. They prefer 5. Anybody's ball. I don't know what happened there. Jack Grant just sort of stepped away from it. And Connor Mitchell came through. But,
Number 3 on the pillar, not last.
Got scrappy. Luckily, James Leckie paying advantage.
And Archie King going for the sideline. They want the try. They don't want the 3 points. There's still 7 minutes to go, but...
No, that's smart play, Tony. I think you just got to back yourselves at the moment. You've got Southern Districts on the ropes. You just got to back yourself to score that 7 points.
Tony, I know you mentioned it, but it is incredibly dark here. The cameras are cranked up, so the boys are doing a really good job to bring the pictures to you in colour.
Well, speaking of pictures in colour, special thanks to O-Media. Can't be blocked, stopped or turned off. O-Media, thanks for your support in 2017.
Oh, well, Kieran Black was all over that. And he stripped it, and he might have turned it over, has he?
I think he has.
He has. Oh, that's terrific work by Black at the back of the line out there. Because Cameron Fenton's throw went long, and whoever caught the ball at the back, I'm not sure who it was, for Eastern Suburbs, just had it stripped right out of their hands.
Well, the pressure's not off. Rowan Seifloy only managing to chew off about 25 metres with that kick. So still a great attacking position for the Beasties. 6 minutes to go.
James King taking the field for Eastern Suburbs. He's replaced Sheminant in the front row. Cameron Fenton with the ball. He's probably been one of their best in the front, in the forwards. Back it comes for Jack Grant. Pincus taking off, but he's well covered by the Southern District's defence. Around the corner comes Lee Warner. Never stops trying. Another penalty advantage for Eastern Suburbs. Grant throws a little dummy, then goes himself.
Been stripped by Carboni, no penalty.
10 and 1 ball.
That ball's been kicked away too by Seifloy.
Get that ball on, mate. Get that ball on. Time's out. Comes on.
Time's off. And to put it in perspective for everyone, this is a big, big opportunity for Eastern Suburbs to knock off one of the best teams in the competition. Southern Districts, a semi-finalist last year, and probably unlucky to run into a Northern Suburbs team that was red hot at the back end of 2016 for a reason why they didn't go to another Intrust Super Shoot Shield Grand Final. So Eastern Suburbs finds a way to pull this one out of the bag today, and this is a big win.
Archie King would have been hoping for more distance with his kick. Nevertheless, they're only about 12 metres out, Eastern Suburbs. Need to get this set piece right.
Until the whole thing goes off. Till the whole thing goes off. Ask me if you want.
Up goes Dwyer. Oh, Clary Moore. Clary Moore still going, needs help.
What a run.
Needs to come quickly. Here's Perry with the pick and go. Still going. They're 5 metres out. There's King, the replacement. Eastern Suburbs looking for the try. Pick and go from the forwards. Oh, they're very close. Clary Moore, I think that is, underneath all those bodies. James Leckie unsided. Eastern Suburbs scrum, though, on the 5 metre line. Less than 5 minutes to go.
Well, I think that was Perry, actually.
Off the scrum.
That was Perry, actually, the ball carrier there. Just having a chat with James Leckie as he came up. He was very close indeed.
What is it, Prop? We need to play. Okay. Time out briefly. He'll be up very quickly.
Willie Malmalanga gets treated for cramp.
Well, it's a smart play, Tony. They used to, when you're under the pump, you yell out Deadwood or Buddha, and that means a prop goes down ASAP so everyone can get a breather. But I wouldn't be surprised if Big Willie actually just needed the rest himself that time. There was some ferocious defence from Southern Districts, but they just couldn't stop the momentum that Eastern Suburbs were building. That was the second last play, and there you see Perry through a small gap, and that's brilliant work from Willie Malmalunga to stop a certain try.
Big Willie looks like he's going to play out the full 80. Very impressive.
Oh, he's got a big engine, doesn't he? We've seen him do it before, and I'm absolutely amazed a man of his size can get around the way he does for 80 minutes. But this is a big moment of the game. 4 minutes to go. You're standing under your own sticks with only a 6-point lead. Can Southern Districts hold out the Beasties?
Well, the Beasties scrum really needs to be strong here.
Will Maddox and Archie King starting directly behind the scrum. Which way will they go?
Big shove from Southern Districts. Back it comes for Grant. Grant offloads to King. Archie King needs help. They turn it over. It could be a try to Perry.
Stop. Step away.
Well, this will be interesting. Let's listen to the refs.
Knock. Player. Thank you. Have a little look. Knock on by Blue 7. Scrum.
Well, Rowan Perry again comes desperately close to scoring the game winner. Let's have a look at this as it unfolds. The ball's going to come out the right here to Grant. That's King now. He straightens. And as the ball comes out here, that's Rowan Perry. And yeah, I definitely think there was just a slight knock on as the ball rolled forward. Wow, it was close though, wasn't it?
Very, very, very close.
Fine. Set.
How long can the Rebels withstand this pressure?
Healed immediately by Paenga Ramosa. They're keeping it in, looking for the penalty. And it comes, finally. Great work by the Southern Districts forward pack, and that might be the final nail of the for Eastern Suburbs. We'll see. Still a few minutes to go.
Well, there's some time left. It was a big scrum, wasn't it? A great little heel there from Paenga Ramosa, so he could immediately get back in the shove. And look at the engine room work. I've been so impressed with Angus Ryan and Jake Douglas today. The amount of work they've put in around the field to keep Southern Districts on the front foot has been sensational, and that was a perfect example of it. This one needs to go long and out from Cypher. Not his best kick of the afternoon.
He's got him about 20 metres downfield. Still, it's their line-out throw. So all they've got to do is hang on to it now, Southern Districts.
They're in absolutely no hurry to get to this line-out.
Very, very dark here. It's gone forward. Eastern Suburbs ball's been picked up by James King. Out there for the Beasties. Grant clears it to Perry around the corner. Paenga Ramosa all over that ball.
Oh, he stripped it, Tony.
Grant and Paenga Ramosa. Rowan Perry's not letting go, though. Oh, and the penalty goes to Southern Districts. Well, I really feel that penalty could have gone either way, but he's given it to Southern Districts. So great work at the end of the game by the Southern Districts forwards.
Well, Brandon Paenga Ramosa, I'm such a big fan of this kid. He's unbelievable in the tight stuff, and he just locked himself onto that ball. And once James Leckie saw possession change hands, which I definitely thought it did, Rowan Perry had to release the pill. And that's a big penalty at the back end of this game.
Once again, Cypher making no mistake with his touch finder. Just pushing East back a further 15 or 20 metres. Eastern Suburbs need a miracle now. That's a better throw. Scrappy ball for Subbos though. And Jake Turnbull flings Pills to the ground. Cypheloid barking orders. Willie Malmalunga plays scrum half. Offloads to Douglas. Comes slowly. Is Malmalunga now with the ball in hand. Still Southern District's ball. Pills looks to kick it out because I think that's the end of the game. And it is. James Leckie blows full time. Southern Districts hang on for a 6-point victory over a brave Eastern Suburbs side. Well, that's probably about the difference in quality between these two sides. Not much in it, Cameron Shepherd.